time with you to, I'm afraid I've lost in my 7-word Tagalog vocabulary, sort of evaporated, but I'll try it again. This talk is entitled True and False Humility. But I want to pick up on one of Tom's points toward the end of his talk. He talked about the fact that we are citizens of a different country. You know, we are citizens of heaven, not because of anything that we did, but because of what Jesus did for us. You ever want to make friends with the music ministry, show up and say, hey, can you play this song? And it's not on the computer. So I'm going to read you the words of a song called The Hymn of Heaven. It's credited to St. Bernard of Cluny. Brief life is here our portion, brief sorrow, short-lived care. The life that knows no ending, the tearless life is there. Oh, happy retribution, short toil, eternal rest. For mortals and for sinners, a mansion with the blessed. And now we fight the battle, but then shall bear the crown of full and everlasting and passionless renown. And now we watch and struggle, and now we live in hope. And Zion in her anguish with Babylon must cope. But he whom now we trust in shall then be seen and known, and they that know and see him shall have him for their own. The morning shall awaken, and the shadows shall decay, and each true-hearted servant shall shine as doth the day. Dear God, our King and portion, in fullness of his grace, shall we behold forever, and worship face to face. Jesus, in your mercy, I could do better if I tried to sing it. Jesus, in thy mercy, here bring us to that dear land of rest, who art with God the Father, and Spirit ever blessed. What we're going to talk about, I want you to have the mindset of, heaven is where we're aiming for. There's all kinds of things on this earth that can mess us up. And one of them is us. There's really a couple of points here that we want to make. The next 2 talks are about our feelings about ourselves. And what's related is our opinions of ourselves. And bear with me, Nancy and I have talked through this. She's given me the lady's perspective a little bit, but she's off on she's got a retreat today too. So, but this talk really, the first part of the talk is about feeling bad about ourselves. And this is dangerous ground because we are not, as citizens of heaven, we're not only strangers here in America, but you guys have come here from a different culture. And CADA, in the years that I've been involved with it, it's been a blessing. And the fact that you observed, as you came to America, the young American culture, the culture of youth in America, was not something you wanted to be part of. So the original foundations of CADA were to give you a place to gather together in order to love and serve God. I admire you for that. So there's a profound root, there's a profound foundation that CADA is built on. But now I've got to talk about feeling bad about yourself. And sometimes it's discussed as low self-esteem. They can have various forms. We all get lied to it. When I get to heaven, I want to ask the Lord about how come it's so easy for Satan to get into my mind. But part of that is the battle. Part of that's the fight that we fight, the decisions that we make. So some of the forms, that we can get. One of the things I learned really helped me was the truth. The feelings are neither right or wrong. They just are. It's a marriage encounter principle, and it helped Nancy and I in our marriage. But that's, feelings we just need to address. They just are. And we can't always, we can seldom control them. But we can feel unvalued and unloved. And there's coming out of that can come pretty bad stuff. Moodiness, depression, self-pity. We used to have a joke in our family, you know, nobody likes me, everybody hates me, think I'll eat some worms. When people would be pouting around, when our kids were small, that was sort of what we would recite to them. Now I get to hear them reciting it to their children. But we can also, there's a feeling of insecurity, a feeling of sort of lacking social confidence, and I can only guess what that must be like to come from the Philippines to here and have to sort of deal with that. But there's several ways of dealing with, of responding to that as well. The wrong way to respond to it is defensiveness, shyness, or conceitedness. Those are all different ways of doing it. And another one of the problems with it is that sometimes we do need to be defensive. Sometimes we just, in our personalities, we might be shy. And there's never really an excuse for conceitedness. But you can certainly excuse it in another because we're called to. Just love them where they're at. And there's also things that we cause us to feel bad about ourselves, such as honest guilt. You know, maybe I am guilty. The part that God anoints inside my soul, inside my emotions, is that if I'm feeling guilty about something, maybe I am guilty. There's another whole talk about that further down the line. You really are guilty, then you got to deal with it. But these are, this business of feeling bad about ourselves. I'm an engineer. I talk like an engineer. I think like an engineer. I'm sorry, I'm also male. So some of these, some of this stuff comes from serious, real emotional problems. And so if you're constantly feeling bad about yourself, first of all, the fact of being open with somebody else is very helpful. Sometimes people really do need professional help. Somebody, you know, at an advanced stage of not liking themselves can flip over to bipolar, and that's nothing to mess with. That's a serious illness that really needs professional help. You shouldn't be shy about that. If you break an arm or a leg, you don't feel shy about going to the emergency and getting that fixed. If you've got some sort of self-image difficulty that is beyond, you know, that's really consistent, talk to somebody about it. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Get professional help where you need it. Sometimes social environments, you know, if our family doesn't work right, it didn't work right. Sometimes your peer group, not your men's groups hopefully, but your working peer group, where people maybe sometimes trying to be helpful will point out your errors and you don't respond to them correctly. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. These can be areas where Christians can confuse emotional problems with virtue. They say, well, I want to be humble, so therefore I ought to feel bad about myself. Scripture even says, you know, look at all the others. Count all men better than you. When I didn't read the Bible much until we came into community. Although it was a long time ago, I was pretty old. I was 33 before we came into community. I had a lot of bad habits that were sort of stuck into me. When I read that, I thought, well, okay, I'm going to do that. That's what Scripture says I'm going to do. And so, you know, I'd look at this person, I'd say, this person is better than me. So I would try to treat them that way. This person is better than me. This person is better than me. Eventually, I was sort of feeling, I worked in construction, where a bunch of arrogant folks, you know, they were perfectly happy to have you perceive them as being better than you. And over a period of time, I discovered once, more than once,